Hey everyone, before we get started, I wanted to remind you guys to click that like button and leave a comment down below about what you think about what we think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get reminded every time we upload a new episode every Monday. I also wanted to mention, because I neglected to mention it in the episode, that we do have somewhat of a sponsorship. I'm an ambassador for a coffee company called Coffee Brand Coffee. Just go to coffeebrandcoffee.com, buy yourself some coffee, buy yourself some tea, buy yourself some cocoa, and use code name Garrett, or you can use the affiliate link in the description down below, and you get to save on your coffee, tea, or cocoa purchase. That helps me out, and in turn helps the channel out. We greatly appreciate it. Yeah. Without further ado, here's this week's episode of Alt.tistic. Thank you guys. Hello and welcome back to Alt.tistic, the most retarded social political show on the internet. My name is Garrett. I am your host. This is my co-host Davey and our producer Zach. We have another very fun episode for you this week. We will be talking about the events that happened in North Dakota that almost a week ago now. We'll be talking about Iran and Russia. And we are going to have a very serious woman moments segment this week. But to prepare us for a more somber, a more serious episode this week, we're going to start off with a couple of lighter moments stuff. So first off, I'm gonna go back to last week and say I was retarded because I said that the big titty trans person in the woodshop class was wearing wood breasts. That's my bad. I kept hearing wood shop, and it just ingrained in my head that the breasts were wood, but instead he worked at a wood shop, and they're probably just massive silicone implants.
Is that not extremely uncomfortable? Like even more uncomfortable than wearing wooden?
Silicone? No, silicone's more.
I mean, like all that weight on the.
Oh yeah. I mean, silicone's probably not that heavy.
The size of those things with the amount of liquid that you have to put in them in order for them to. That's just, I don't know. I feel like he's gonna have back problems.
Yes, but it might all be worth it if image 3.
Uh-oh.
If this user on 4chan's correct. So, and a non on 4chan, which I don't actually go on, but this was making the rounds like yesterday. Anon speculated. He says, "This dude is gaming the system." And Anon here yesterday was in this dude's class. This teacher was almost fired for toxic masculinity last year, as well as not embracing woke culture. He dropped red pills in his class, such as how silly gender-neutral bathrooms are. The school board hates him. He's now upping the ante to exploit the very clown world this school and society itself created. His long game is most likely to get fired and then sue for discrimination. There is no other explanation, no better way to troll clown world than to become an over-the-top caricature of a woman. Real or not?
Okay. All right.
If that's real,
Respect.
that is one master plan. I would probably say it's not worth it to pretend to be a woman every day of your life, but you know what? If you're just gonna be like, this is silly, I'm gonna show you how silly this is, push it to the next level, there's some level of respect I guess I can lend you. Anyway, we'll move on to video 3 because we talked about Black Little Mermaid like 2 weeks ago. There's been this trend of black mothers posting reactions of their children to the Little Mermaid trailer and them freaking out going, "Oh my gosh, Ariel's black," which, if you ask me, the mothers definitely coached them on that. Mm-hmm. There's that one video of the white girl who mistook her for who was it? It was it wasn't Gina Davis. It was some popular black R&B singer, or not R&B, more not gospel, but pop. An older black woman singer. But this is a video that I found on TikTok of a dude showing his black friends the trailer.
He's watching. Keep watching.
says, wait for it, trust me, it's worth it. He had no idea what to expect. Made me cry. Is someone cutting onions?
What is this?
One sec, just wait.
Why am I watching this?
There's a big surprise coming, just hold on.
So
I'm so excited. Look. She's black.
I don't get it.
Look. Ariel, we're gonna go see that. How do you feel?
You came to my job to show me this?
That last, you came to my job to show me this. But the funny thing is that is very similar to the mindset a lot of white folks have about this, where it's like, oh my gosh, look, Black Ariel, hey black friend, check this out, look, she's black. And they're just like,
I'm gonna
okay.
do this. The next time that I see my black friends, I'm gonna be like, you guys are gonna be so excited. And then as soon as the video's over, they're gonna be like, what? Why is this important? Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Well, no, I saw a picture. It was a screenshot of the white Little Mermaid and a black girl going, I can't relate to this. And then it's below, it's a screenshot of Goku going Super Saiyan. And it's a little black kid going, he's literally me. A little black boy going, he's literally me.
Oh my gosh.
See, dudes don't care.
Yeah, dudes really do not care. I mean, like we'll watch any superhero show. Like, I can't run fast, but I like the Flash. Oh my gosh, I love Black Panther. I'm not some African king, dude.
All of my Madden, my career players, all of my 2K, my career players, they're all black. It's all love. Like, it's all the same. It just,
It's all love.
It's
all love.
They give stat bonuses in 2K and in Madden based on the color of your skin.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not going to put my guy at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I'm already in a disadvantage in real life.
So it's tactical.
Tactical, exactly. It's just smart. I mean, why not?
Why not?
Black Lives Matter.
All right, last little bit of fun I guess we'll have is a little bit of a meme. It'll be video 4, and basically it's just the prelude to, you know how Small PP Buffalo Boy, right? He was in chat rooms with FBI agents. So it's just a meme going like, lonely white dude, I have a gun, now who do I use it on? And this is what the FBI's response is.
Libraries, construction companies, school officials, cleaning services, financial institutions, local and international, your neighbors, your family members, your church, synagogue, or other religious institution, your employers' customers, suppliers, companies in other countries, companies that made the drugs that were turned into the drugs that you took. The possibilities are limitless.
Very accurate.
Oh, yeah.
All right. But for real, we'll enter into the actual meat of the episode. So earlier this week, this was probably Tuesday, Wednesday, very early into last week. There was what was that? Oh, I was about to say, I heard like some random noise in my head. Sorry. Anyway, earlier last week, there was an incident where a 41-year-old suspected killer, or not suspected, he did. A 41-year-old guy ran over an 18-year-old conservative kid. So the conservative kid name was Kaylor Ellison. He was just kind of hanging out. I forget. Should pull up the link real quick. I have a link to Not the Bee. A lot of my information came from this. But Ellingson was just kind of hanging out at a street dance, right? And just chilling, being a dude, hanging out with people who were dancing in the street. And 41-year-old Shannon Brandt, who I'm going to put his name out there. Usually I don't like to do that. I'm going to have his face because this dude was arrested, but he got out on bail, so he's still out walking free. So don't avoid him, pretty much.
Unless you
Or
have a gun, then shoot him.
Whoa.
in self-defense in Minecraft.
Well, I mean, if he's going to just drive around and kill people, just kill him.
In
I mean,
Minecraft.
he doesn't have
Minecraft.
any right to be out walking in the street. Period. He doesn't have. Well, what about? I mean, I guarantee you, the dad of this child is hunting right now, because I guarantee you, when he finds him,
Oh, he'd be pissed. Yeah, no, he
gone.
should be pissed. Yeah.
I mean, like, the dad's off the grid. You're not gonna find him, and the next thing you know, oh, this dude turned up dead. We wonder what happened.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've played yourself.
Mm-hmm. So to continue the story before Davey so rudely interrupted. No. So he was hanging out, and we had 41-year-old Shannon Brandt. He was walking around drunk, because that's a smart thing to be. This is why, like, you shouldn't get drunk. He's walking around, encounters this guy. They were having a conversation, and it quickly turned into an argument about politically charged issues. And he found out that Ellingson was a conservative. So he decided to hop into an SUV and chase the kid down. This wasn't just like a spur of the moment, oh, shoot, punch, and like accidental kill. This was, he deliberately got into an SUV and started chasing him down. And this was a chase. Ellingson's mom said that her son had called her and asked her to come and pick him up because he was currently being chased by Brandt in the SUV. But by the time she got there, it was too late, and he had gotten run over and was killed. And if you see videos, I saw a video earlier. I couldn't get my hands on one for the show in time for the show, but you see interviews with this guy where they're reading him out what he's being charged for. The guy looks confused because he was the one who called the cops. He was the one who called the police. And he looked genuinely confused when they read him like, you're getting arrested. Here's why you killed someone. Because he thinks he did a good thing. And his justification was, see, I killed one of those radical Republicans, one of those, MAGA Republicans. This comes, 2 to 3 weeks after Biden's little speech.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I wonder if there's a correlation between this moron in Washington, D.C. telling people to kill people based on political needs and wants, and then somebody going out and killing somebody based off of their political views.
Not just a kid. This was a teenager. He's legal adult.
Man.
He was able to vote, but he was a
He
teenager.
hadn't even gotten to do anything yet. Like he didn't get to live his life at all.
Yeah, this freaking atrocious human being killed someone who is less than half of his age over political disagreements. And this is what happens when you have the president of the United States saying, "Oh, MAGA Republicans are the real threat." And of course, he walked it back and was like, well, I've worked with certain Republicans. I'm not talking about all, but MAGA Republicans. MAGA Republicans are a majority of
When did
conservative
he walk
folk
it back?
now.
Was it during that same speech?
Nope, it was.
Nobody saw that.
It was after he got pressed in interviews and questioning. But he was released on bail. Let me see if I can find. I don't think there's a specific amount, but it was a small.
It said 50,000.
Yeah, $50,000 bail.
Picture here.
Oh, right,
Bond.
yeah. I'm stupid. Yeah, he was released on a $50K bond.
$50K dollar.
$50K. A $50,000 bond. That is incredibly low, if you ask me. Right? There are people currently being held for the J6 stuff who are being held on bond for at least twice that.
But also remember, for someone to get out of that, you only have to pay 10%. So that's $5,000 to pay to get out of that.
Holy crap. Dude, I could do that, and I could freaking pay a bond right now. Shoot. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to go do something, but I'm saying.
I was like, hey, hit that stop recording.
But that's great. When me, who is someone who barely has any money, who cannot afford his own house, can pay a murderer's bond, that is ridiculous. And since then, he's also begun scrubbing his social media, so he's trying to, delete the evidence. But the important thing right here is this is the result. We have a direct correlation from Biden's speech to this kind of behavior. Even though this was type of behavior that was already being galvanized before, the president basically endorsing this has led to this event where we basically have some crazy drunk liberal dude deliberately murdering a teenager and thinking he did a good thing. This wasn't like, oh man, I hated him so much, kill him, and then like, oh shoot, what did I do wrong? It was, I killed him, I'm going to call the cops, and I'm going to say, guys, you're going to be so proud of me. I just killed a right-wing extremist. You killed a kid, man. Like that's where we're at now. That's where we're at. And the fact that it's not being reported on any news sites, the fact that no one's touching this except for the freaking Babylon Bee, right?
And I mean, look at if the roles were reversed and it was a conservative person that killed somebody with liberal views, and let's say that person's name is Kyle. How do you think they're going to be treated? I mean, oh, it did happen, Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean, like it's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know if people. I mean, there's a difference between self-defense and just chasing a child down in a vehicle. But I mean, you murder somebody, you either sit in prison for the rest of your life. I don't care if you get a trial or not at that point. If you can prove that somebody murdered somebody, you lose all of your rights. You don't have rights at that point.
You should be a felon.
Yeah, I mean, and you should be labeled. I mean, there should be some type of accountability as a people, regardless of what you think of politics, regardless of what you think of religion or whatever. Murder is something you can't go back and undo that. You can't give that mom her child back. You can't go back and say, oh, that kid that you grew up with, that was your best friend, he's gone forever. You don't get another chance. And I hope that it eats that man alive every day for the rest of his life, and he can't sleep at night because one day I hope he realizes the torture and the horror that he brought upon that family. And the crazy part is, this is the beginning. This is the first time we're going to see this. This is not the last time we're going to see it.
Yeah.
So we got to be ready. Something's going to have to give. Either Christians are going to have to stand up and say, you know what, the same God that said you march around this many times, the walls are going to fall. You go into this battle with a slingshot and a couple of stones. We're going to take some giants down. We're going to flood the earth. This is the same God that led people to victory in war. Is the same one that will lead us to victory in war with these freaking demons. It fires me up. It scares me, but at the same time, I'm like, this is Revelations. This is exactly what God was talking about to be ready for. This is why you go to church. This is why you pray. This is why you fast. This is why you keep your faith in God. Because when things like this happen, you can go home and you can watch TV and you can relax because God's in control. And yeah, it's something horrible. And obviously, if we knew the kid, I'm sure, we wouldn't be saying that. But I mean, as a whole, as Christians as a whole, when bad things happen, there's still hope.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine going through something like that, and it's there's a lot of things I want to say because it's like, it's a kid, man. First and foremost, it's a child, and you're a grown adult, and you're letting politics. It doesn't matter what. If you argue with a child about something, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
if he's a kid, he doesn't even know. And regardless of whether you agree with what he was saying or whether you disagree with what he was saying, he probably didn't know what he was talking about because he's 18. He had a good idea of what he believed in. But I mean, when I was 18, half the crap that comes out of your mouth is just bull crap. I mean, when you're a kid, you talk and you don't know what you're saying. There's no substance to your words. And he was probably just an angry 18-year-old, and he was flustered because this guy didn't agree with him. And then I don't think he ever expected anybody to get in a car and chase him down and kill him.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have political conversations in public, because I know, one, I'm an opinionated person, and two, I know people are nuts. You don't know who you're talking to at any point in time.
Yeah. Well, here's why I think that this ended the way it did is because the guy was wrong. He lost the argument, right? Like, yeah, the kid was 18. I mean, I'm 21, so there's like 3 years of separation between me and him. And you can be an intelligent 18-year-olds. I mean, there are a bunch of 18-year-olds who can spit facts, and I mean, there is the whole idea of like out of the mouth of babes, comes wisdom. Uh, but uh, there's this trend where leftists get into arguments with more conservative people and they lose on the basis of facts or of ideas or whatever, and so they resort to emotion. And that's when things become dangerous. Used to it was just, oh, well, F your mother's a whole, like just insults and then storming off.
Right.
Now it's, this is the point we're at now where it's, oh, shoot, I lost the argument. Well, I got to kill the kid. There's no way around it. I got to stop the right-wing supremacist, extremist. I got to kill him because that's the only way I can salvage this. And now this guy's still out walking around the world. He has another opportunity to do this to another kid. He has another opportunity to do this to his neighbor, to whoever disagrees with him politically. This cannot happen. This cannot be the norm. But unfortunately, it probably will become the norm. And as much as I encourage you to sit down with your friends, your family, and have nice civil conversations with them, this is why, like strangers in public, it's not really that safe. It really isn't. It's something that's becoming less and less safe, but you got to reach people where they're at with the people you know. You got to know people. Arguments in the streets with people doesn't help. It doesn't change their minds. But now you're putting yourself on the line in danger.
It's not to say that, interacting with strangers is a bad thing. It's
No.
just don't go up to strangers and be like, I'm pro-life, I'm against gay people, and I think that the border should be more secure.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a problem. But if you're like, hey, let me tell you about this really cool guy that's going to change your life. There's one thing that you can't be afraid of, but then there's a difference between not being afraid and stepping out in faith with God and saying, you know what, this is a really dangerous city and I don't want to die. And so I get what you're saying, and I agree. And it's weird because I've always been like, my whole I say adult from 18 to 25, my whole adult life, Little Rock is terrifying. Little Rock is this. All this crap happens in Little Rock. This year was the first year that I really kind of saw it firsthand and really understood the severity of the situation, I guess, because when when the places that you go on the weekends and you see something on the news, oh, so-and-so was shot here, or there was a shootout here, and you're like, I've been to that place more times than I can count. Like, it hits differently than just seeing somebody getting shot in the hood or somebody getting shot in front of their house, and it's like, oh, I've never been to that neighborhood, I don't know where that is. And it's like, oh, there was a shooting at the Haskell Big Red. I know the people that work at that Big Red. And I'm like, oh my God, like, are they okay? I was worried. I was texting people. I was calling. Never once in my life did I think something like that would happen in Saline County.
Yeah.
And we have to figure out a way to make sure that that's the last time something like that ever happens in Saline County. I talked to the judge. He didn't like it. A lot of other people liked it, but the judge doesn't like me, so that's why he didn't like it. Bring your gun to work day instead of bring your kid to work day. And if the business is for it, great. If the business isn't for it, you can show support in different ways. Then, obviously, at fast food restaurants, you probably don't want somebody like, hey, can I take your order? Like, there are some people who would probably be for it, but it would be approached in a different manner. If you work at, I'm trying to think. If you own your own business and you own let's say, Burger Shack in downtown Benton, you're the owner of Burger Shack. You say, hey, we're doing bring your gun to work day. You bring your gun in a holster. You could take orders, and we're going to let people know you come anywhere near this place, we will blow the roof off of it. And at some point in time, we're going to have to stand up for it. And there's going to be no more, because if we just let Little Rock seep into Saline County, we're screwed. And that's what makes these early elections and these smaller elections so important is if you're like, oh, I don't care about that, I just care about Trump. You end up in a situation like Pulaski County where you have people who are wanting to lower bail. You're having people who want to make felonies misdemeanors. And you have people that think that you can justify killing somebody based on their political beliefs. That's just trying to fathom that's nuts. Like,
Yeah.
I hate, and you know this, I hate stupid people who identify opposite of me. I respect smart people, but I've never once thought, you know what would be a great idea? I want the mayor of Bryant to die because he's a Democrat. That's stupid. Alan Scott's a nice guy.
Yeah.
We just disagree on a couple of things politically. Oh, so what?
I think he worked for my high school.
He did. He was a
Yeah.
teacher at Bryant before he was the mayor. He was a teacher at a school that he went to before he was the mayor.
Mayor of an undisclosed city.
He's a nice guy. I don't agree with anything politically, but I mean, he's done good things for his city. He's done good things as a leader. But again, I've never thought, like, let's plan an assassination on this guy. That's just how deranged. You had to have had problems before that. You had to have been a person who needed help.
Yeah. And the unfortunate thing is that that's becoming the norm of, at the very least, talks of assassination. And it's either being ignored or endorsed by the media and social media platforms. There was this story from earlier this week. Unfortunately, the guy deleted his tweets before I could get to him. But there was a guy on Twitter, a black dude, and he was ranting about how we should kill all white people. And then he explicitly stated that he wanted to go out and kill Ron DeSantis and Joe Biden. He threatened to assassinate both of them.
He doesn't understand what he's doing. He's just mad.
Yes, but he did that, and then people started tagging the FBI and tried to get their, alerting, because this is a public call to assassinate two specific government officials. Nothing happened. FBI ignored it, and Twitter let it stay up. The only reason it's not available today is because the guy himself deleted the tweets.
The FBI was probably like, yeah, we get Kamala, let's go.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Did you see the video of I don't know if she was running for president of Australia or what she was running for, but the guy had the gun and it like jammed. He had it in her face and pulled the trigger and nothing happened. And you could see like in her face, there was like, this is it. Like you saw like life flash before her eyes. And then whenever his gun didn't go off, they got on top of him, they tackled him.
Jeez.
I could not. How do you get out of your bed in the morning after the night where you just had somebody literally point blank try and shoot you in the face? It gives me a different perspective of wanting to run for anything majorly politically, because it's like, if somebody does that, I'm not going to have somebody tackle them for me.
Yeah.
There's going to be a problem, and I might make the problem worse, and they might not. They'll be like, oh, Davey had an attempted assassination on him, but he beat the crap out of the guy, so it's his fault.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's definitely becoming a more and more politically volatile political landscape.
The last thing I want to say about this is these people are bold. To be able to wake up and say, hey, I'm going to go do this, and I know that there's a lot of risk that comes with it, that's bold. Mm-hmm. But the Bible says to be bold in God. So where are the Christians at?
Yeah.
That's my question, is where are the people who are supposed to be standing up for what's right and what's wrong? Where are the people who are supposed to be raising these kids? Oh, they're not raising them. They're sticking in front of an iPad.
Yep.
But I say all that because if these people have the ability to be bold and evil and in sin, why are there not more Christians who have the ability to be bold in God? Because that's the point where we're at, where God said, you are lukewarm, I will spew you from my mouth. It's not about saying, oh, I'm a Christian and this is what I believe. It's about putting into action, and it's about standing up. It's about doing something about it. It doesn't mean physical altercations. It means, hey, this guy got arrested for this and he's in this jail. Let's take a trip and let's go pray for him. And I know it sounds nuts because it's like, oh, that guy just shot up a school. Well, he needs Jesus more than most of the people in this country do.
Yeah.
Like, we got to start trying to bring love back into this country. Not gay love, not pride love, but real love, the love of God. And that's the only thing that's going to fix this.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. Local churches need to step up in a lot of these types of matters. Like I want that the local church in that North Dakota town to be showing up to pay for as much as that kid's funeral as possible, be there to comfort the mother and the father, and then, well, the guy's out of prison now, but when he was in that cell, they better have been praying for him. They better still be praying for him, but they also need to be making sure he doesn't do that again, right? like churches are a big part of communities. They're what help communities thrive. And we have lazy churches right now with pastors who don't want to offend people, who don't want to get too political. And I get we don't need to be talking about certain political instances within our sermons, but there are certain big cultural stuff that are currently being battled on the political front that churches are way too silent about, whether it's about gay marriage, the transgender issue, whether it's abortion. Too many pastors are just either silent or endorsing the wrong ideas.
Right.
And we need more pastors to be coming out and going, look, according to the Bible, abortion is wrong. It is murder. This cannot be happening in our city, our state, our country. We are going to do everything we can to go to these abortion clinics and either stand there and protest, pray over it, talk to pregnant mothers, and explain to them what is inside their body. We need to galvanize in front of the state capitol and, convince politicians to pass laws, get more of us into office, and pass laws to ban it. Like, that kind of thing needs to happen. In a lot of places, churches are either silent or endorsing the wrong ideas.
Did you hear about I think she was either 80 or 81. 81-year-old woman was protesting in front of a pro-life, she was protesting in favor of pro-life in front of a Planned Parenthood facility. Somebody comes through, big group of people, shot her in the back, killed her. Somehow there's no suspects. Nobody has been arrested. Nobody has been interrogated. Nothing. No. And there's a lot of reasons that some churches are scared to go out and actually protest. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. There's a right answer, and a lot of it just goes back to praying every day and saying, hey, what direction am I supposed to go in? Because at the end of the day, the only difference between me, you, and the guy that ran over that kid in North Dakota is that we believe in Jesus Christ. There's not much more different. He gets up, goes to work every day. He gets up and he has to eat. He has to go to the bathroom. He wants social interaction. But we see life as we're supposed to be doing his bidding.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's not a Christian, he still needs that. He has that internal thing to be working for something that's bigger than himself. So when somebody he idolizes or somebody he looks up to, maybe, I don't know, the U.S. government comes out and says, these are the people that are taking your way of life from you. These people are evil. This is what you need to destroy. What on God's green earth did these people think was going to happen? Because now you've indoctrinated these people to where they listen and beg for your every whim. And now here they are executing it. I mean, back in 2016 when Maxine Waters was telling people you go to the gas stations and you start fights and you yell and you scream. And Nancy Pelosi was saying you start fights with these people. Please start a fight. I mean, you're proving the point of you're insane.
Yeah.
And if anything, if you have any questions about, is God real? Look at what's happening in America right now, and you will have your answer, because the people who believe and then the people who don't believe. You sit here and you say, oh, there is no God. Okay, well then tell me how everything in Revelations has come to pass. Tell me why all these people are attacking Christians. Why? They're not attacking Islam. They're not attacking Jews. I think that's already happened. They're hardcore going after Christians, and they're targeting Christians because they're Christians.
Yeah.
Because they're Christians. And that's what makes me so mad is, God said we were going to be persecuted, that times were going to be hard, but that we were blessed because of it. And there's a lot of people who are going to be very upset with themselves or with God, one of the two, when he's like, I do not know you. Because you were preaching false doctrine. Joel Osteen, T.D. Jakes, all these people who are on TV every week saying, oh, you just got to love. No, you have to hold accountable. Love is accountability, like what we were talking about last week.
Yeah.
Or week before last.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, there was that whole thing with Vanderbilt this week that Matt Walsh was working on. Did you hear about that? Okay. So Vanderbilt was doing something with their medical school, I believe, and that they were going to start training people and working on the process of turning minors into transgender people. And they did a little announcement, and the lady on the stage basically said, You have to do this. If you don't, you will be fired. If you try to protest under the merits of religion, that is not acceptable. You still have to do this. And basically, this idea of you cannot be exempt because of your religious convictions anymore. That's something that Vanderbilt is pushing. A school that was founded basically as one of the first public Christian schools. It was, I believe, it was the first public state school to open up a seminary and provide seminary degrees. And now suddenly, now at this point in time, they are endorsing, frankly, demonic works. And Matt Walsh is working on it right now with his team to bring this case to, I believe, the Tennessee Supreme Court. But the thing is, yeah, there's an attack on Christianity right now. You can criticize Christianity all you want. You can roast it. You can even threaten certain Christians. But you say one bad thing about the Muslim faith, oh well, you're just Islamophobic. You criticize.
What about how would you say Christianophobic? Christianophobic?
I don't know. We say retarded. But like, you can't criticize the Islamic faith. You can't say anything bad about any single Jew unless his name is Ben Shapiro.
Yep.
And I say that not as a fan of the guy. You can't say a bad thing about Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism, any of that. Either is you're Islamophobic or you're racist, because I guess religion is specific to race now. Somehow, although there are running trends sometimes. But you can't criticize any of those. But Christianity, fair game, free game. If you try to state a Christian belief, oh, well, you're just racist, homophobic, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, look, I mean, we disagree with the gay lifestyle, but I'm sure gay people are happy to live in what was established as a Christian nation, and they're very happy they're not in Saudi Arabia right now, where Muslims are going around throwing them off building tops.
I had a conversation at work, and it was so funny because they were like, well, why do you believe what you believe about abortion? And I said, well, I believe everything is life, that God put that life there. You conceived that life, but because God exists, you're able to reproduce and create children. And so they were like, well, it's not fair because I want to have sex with this, da, da, da. And I said, well, the whole point is to not have sex until you're married. And then somebody said that's ignorant.
You're just ignorant.
So it's ignorant of me, but this person's a Christian. That's what befuddles me constantly. These Christians are so stupid. Christianity is a religion, but a relationship with Jesus is what you're after. Mm-hmm. And when you look at Christianity like it's a religion, you're going to have the same problems that you do with religion.
Yes.
That's why, what was it that, it's it's a verse, and I can't remember what it was, but it was basically, don't be misled by philosophy. Don't follow the prophets, follow Jesus.
Yeah.
And a lot of the churches have that problem.
Yeah.
And so you end up with kids who grow up thinking that, oh, well, if I have an abortion, God's just going to forgive me. Oh, well, if I marry this guy and I'm a guy, God's just going to forgive me. I don't think you understand the concept of why Jesus died on the cross. It wasn't so you could abuse that and say, hey, well, I'm just going to... Yeah, you're going to make mistakes every day. I'm going to mess up. I'm no different than any other human being. But I'm not going to... Knowing what I know as a Christian, I'm not going to go out and get married to another man and be like, oh, God's just going to forgive me.
Yeah.
That's not,
how
it works.
Yeah. Too many Christians are becoming of the world instead of in it. And that reminds me of, I've listened to the past 2 episodes of the I'm Doing Great podcast, which is hosted by a guy named Mike and a lady named Gina. And they've been having a couple discussions about faith through works, salvation through faith, salvation through works. And what you're describing is people who have this fake faith. Because, we're Protestants, I guess. I say I'm a Christian. I don't really care about denominations or anything like that. But I guess we align more with Protestantism. And a huge knock against Protestantism that Orthodoxy and Catholics bring against is our idea of salvation through faith. And a lot of that idea is, oh, all we have to do is have faith and we're fine. While Catholicism kind of mainly derives it through works. And the issue is, yeah, I believe that you have salvation through faith, but faith alone is worthless, right?
Right.
So you become saved through faith, right? Because you can't just, do good and be like, oh, well, I serve soup at the local church, so I should be good. You have to have faith in God as Father, as Creator, as the Lord above everything, but that's not enough. Your faith is proven through your works. If you have genuine faith, you will show it through your works, whether that's, rebuking sin, trying to refrain from sin. When you do sin, beg for forgiveness for it, feeling conviction for that sin. And what we have right now is people who are demonstrating poor works through bad faith. And they commit sin and just say, it's fine, God will forgive me because I have faith. That's not how this works. That's not how the system works. You have faith in God, you engage in the relationship with him. Relationships are two-way streets. You have to meet him. You have to strive to meet him at his standards. You can't just fall short and just be like, it's whatever. People gonna sin. People gonna, humans gonna human. You can't just rely on that and fall back on that. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard and strive to do that through your works and by demonstrating your faith. And what you described is just that. We have way too many people who are just like, well, I'm Christian and I'm gay and that's fine because God will forgive me. No, you can't just say that. You can't do that. That's not how this works. You can't just be like, well, I'm Christian, but I had the abortion because, I'm not ready to have a kid right now. It'll be fine. God will forgive me. That's not how this works. If you become pregnant because you messed up, you have to own up to that mistake, beg God for forgiveness, have the kid, and either raise it on your own or try to find someone who is more capable than you.
I'll tell you, my brother had that experience, and him and Sierra went through it, trying to figure out what to do, and Braxton still came, and that kid has been a blessing, man. I mean, that dude he is always laughing, he's always smiling, and when I hear about people killing a child, it really breaks my heart because I've seen firsthand the amount of joy that a child can bring to somebody's life. Yeah, you need to be financially stable. God's going to take care of you. If you have faith, through your mistakes and through your sin, God is not going to turn his back on you. He's not going to say, oh, well, you had this child out of wedlock, you can pay for it without my help. No, that's not how he operates. And I hate to be the person to go through shaking people's faith, but I mean, I'm sorry, if you believe that you could still get into heaven with sin in your heart, you're wrong. You're gonna mess up, and if you die in a car wreck and the last thing you say is the F word, I don't know if that's really gonna be a determining factor, because it's like, okay, you got scared, like,
Yeah.
that's not the point. But my point is, people need to stop being so afraid of standing up for God, because the reason that we're in this situation is Christians went to church on Sunday and they didn't take any of that information with them. They went to work for the rest of the week and they sat on their hands and they kept their mouth shut. And the people who are loud and the ones that are screaming all the T words and all the F words, they're the ones that are getting their way because they're loud and they complain until they get what they want. So when do Republicans and Christians start saying, you know what? We don't care about your 15-week this, that, or the other. Abortion's illegal in this country now. And if you have a problem with it, get out. Gay is illegal in this country now. If you have a problem with it, get out. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
At some point in time, I'm not worried about what the people at work say about me. I'm not worried about what the people who in my extended family are saying about me. I'm worried about what God thinks. And if I'm standing up for what God says and I'm doing what God says to do, you can cry about it. I don't give a crap. I mean,
Be offended.
Like,
The Matt Gaetz quote, the "be offended."
I love it. It's just one of those things where, I mean, it's frustrating to be surrounded by people who love God, and then when it really boils down to it, there are a couple of other people that are doing the same thing that you are. I mean, outside of the people in this room, I'm genuinely curious how many people would stand up and fight for what was right and do something about it and not just sit there and complain about it. I mean, I could think of one person that we work with that would probably help us out, mainly just because he's a little cuckoo. I love him to death. He's my brother, but he's a little crazy.
We need more crazy.
That's the thing. I mean,
more
like,
of those types of crazy people.
he's crazy in the sense that he's not worried about the outcome. He just wants to do what's right, and I can applaud that, and I can respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put a bow on that conversation and move on to our next point of conversation. We're going to turn it over to Zach, our what I'm going to deem and dub our global politics expert, because I barely know anything about the stuff going on in Russia and Iran right now. Davey probably knows a little bit more than me, but Zach's been the one who's been following this, so we'll turn it over to him and allow him to educate me and educate you guys on the stuff going on in Russia.
Yeah, well, it's been a pretty slow week this week, except for a couple of issues regarding conflicts in the Middle East and Asia. First off is a new development in the Russo-Ukrainian conflict. The eastern regions of Ukraine have decided to have a referendum, which is like a vote, pretty much, on whether or not they want to join Russia. That's the Donetsk, Luhansk, Kherson, and Zaporizhzhia regions.
Have they had that vote yet?
It's this week, so it's supposed to end around the 27th.
Now, when you say their vote, is it the elected officials? Is it the people?
It's the people, although I've heard it's one vote per household and not individuals.
Oh, so this is like serious.
Well, yeah, they're voting to leave Ukraine and join Russia.
I mean, it's weird. It's weird how other countries do voting, because one person per household. That's like...
I mean, that's kind of based.
Honestly, yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that I don't like it. I'm just saying it's weird
it's
because
strange.
America's always been so controlled.
Uber individualistic.
It's a lot easier to not have a rigged election that way, I feel like, if it's one vote.
Well, some people are saying that this referendum is going to be rigged by Russia, so that...
But I thought it was Ukraine.
Well, yeah, but Russia wants them to join, so they're just saying that there's troops going to people's houses and filling out vote forms for the households, or, convincing them to vote a certain way.
So the Ukrainian government's not running the election?
Well, no. They're independent regions. They're conflicts.
Oh, okay.
That's what Russia and Ukraine are fighting over.
So why
pretty
wouldn't
much.
they let somebody like, I don't know, Mexico run the election? Somebody that's not biased, because that feels like a...
Because they both want to rig it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, find somebody who's like Switzerland that's just like, I don't give a crap. Let us do this.
Well,
like,
why would they let Switzerland do it when they can rig it?
That's what I mean. Like, obviously, yes, but I'm just saying, like, it's just weird that... I don't know. I mean, like, I still... There's a lot of information on the Russia-Ukraine stuff where I'm like... I think Russia's got some points, but I think Ukraine's leader's a cocaine addict, but I think the dictator in Russia's an awful guy, so it's like... I hate them both.
Putin's a bad guy, but I hate NATO more than I hate Putin.
I hate it. My Zelensky stuff is where I'm iffy. I don't know a whole lot about the guy, and I'm like, I know he has a cocaine problem, but that's it.
He also really likes those assless chats.
Really?
There was that music video that he did where he was like,
oh yeah, I had to think about it for a second. I thought that he was like wearing these to like an interview or something. I was like, that's cool, dude.
Probably is. Yeah. I just don't like him, because if his country's really in this really bad war, why the heck are you doing interviews with Vanity Fair, taking pictures for the cover of Vogue?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a world leader under this intense war does not do that. So either there is no war, or you really suck at being a leader.
You're not a world leader. You don't know what it's like. You don't know what he's been through.
What, he had to pretend to be the president on a TV show?
Well,
He had to get installed by the West.
what worries me about...
He's a professional pretender by trade.
He's a pop artist. He was in a boy band. And he's the president.
Yeah.
Like,
He literally was in a comedy where he plays the president, but he's like an incompetent president. It's on Netflix right now.
if Justin Timberlake was elected president of the United States, it would be the same. We have freaking Bye 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 as our national anthem, and I would cry.
And like, I don't want to discount him because he's an actor, because Reagan was a solid enough president, and he was a pretty popular actor. From what I'm told, Schwarzenegger was an okay enough governor, but like, this dude's not competent. Like, he clearly isn't. Everything you've seen him do, he's running the red carpet circuit. He's still playing the part of an actor, clearly.
I mean, I feel like that's most world leaders who are involved with NATO. I mean, let's be real. It's all BS. I mean, there's no difference between Zelensky, Joe, the Italian guy, all the people, Boris Johnson. These people are about as smart as the pile of rocks in my backyard. And these people are in control of, like, what, 90% of the money that exists in this world?
Yeah.
And we're like, eh.
Yeah,
Like-
there's a reason they don't like Russia, and it's not because they think It's not because they think Putin's a bad dude. It's just because Putin won't go along with their crap.
Now, is China in NATO?
No.
No.
Uh-oh.
China and Russia are friends.
Yeah, I had heard that Xi Jinping. I'd heard that Xi Jinping is getting very impatient with Putin, with this Ukraine thing.
Oh, there we go. If we can have China and Russia go to war, that would, I mean, then whoever comes in on top, we're like, at least we don't have to deal with the other people anymore. Like, yeah, one of them is way more powerful, but
Well, really,
Yeah.
he's probably impatient because he wants to take Taiwan, but he can't.
Yeah.
He's waiting for one war to end so he can start his own.
Yeah. Okay. Isn't Russia in the process of taking back Donbass as well? I had heard something like that.
Well, that's part of the. If you look on this map, that's part of the regions that are holding a referendum. Luhansk and
Okay.
Donetsk, the far eastern regions, that's the Donbass. Those two
Okay.
together, and then the two that are south of that, Zaporozhye and Kherson, those are the other two that are holding a referendum.
Okay. What are the colors? The colors is percent
That's-
of population.
This is just a map.
Oh,
I found on
okay,
Google.
okay. I thought it had something to do with the referendum voting.
No,
Okay,
I was like, wow, that's a
this
lot
is
of
just
people.
the only map I could find that had all the names of the different regions.
okay.
But you can also see how important this referendum is, considering where these places are.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
is like 70% of the Black Sea coast, excluding Crimea, which is extremely important for trade.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
on top of that, look how much of Ukraine that is.
Most of it.
And that's where most of the fighting is happening,
Hmm.
which also means if they join Russia, then all the NATO fighters on the ground will be fighting Russian people on Russian soil instead of in some disputed Ukrainian territory, which also changes the nature of the war.
Yeah.
Into what?
Well, right now they're fighting in Ukraine, but if they join Russia,
It's
then
a civil
now
war.
NATO is fighting Russians on Russia's territory.
So that could be.
Oh,
so
so then
it's-
NATO can.
Well, so it's like if we invaded Mexico and we're fighting them, whatever, and then we took over northern Mexico. So now, and then someone bombs the territory we took over. They didn't bomb Mexico; they bombed
The United States.
our territory.
And that would be a direct war causing action then.
Yeah. So if NATO is sending missiles to the Donbass region now, it's
God.
to Ukraine.
Please don't let Joe Biden send any missions.
Yeah.
to us.
So this could strategically pay off then.
That's-
If I have it right, if Putin takes all this territory, or if these territories vote to join Russia, then that would restrict.
We're gonna have the FBI show up at our house, and they're gonna be like, "You're transpiring Russian collusion. You're going to jail."
But that would pretty much mean NATO would either have to cease activity, because I don't think NATO wants a war with Russia.
No.
So they would have to cease all activity or risk all-out war. So this could be very good for Russia, because then it would be, we're going to take, these territories are joining us where you guys are actively bombing. So if you keep doing it, we got a problem.
Didn't Putin say the only reason that he was over there anyway was because he felt like that was their land, and if he got that land back, everything would just subside.
Pretty
I
much.
think, well, he said, I think that's what he said. Pretty much the reason he's in Ukraine is because he doesn't want Ukraine to be in NATO.
Right,
Because
right.
if they're in NATO, then NATO can put missiles on Russia's border, which is no bueno. So
Is Mexico in NATO?
maybe, I don't know.
What about Canada?
I mean, I know we have like the NAFTA
The
or whatever.
North Atlantic Treaty
Yeah,
Organization.
That was crap. NAFTA
Yeah.
sucks.
Well, yeah, didn't Trump pull us out of NAFTA or get rid
Yeah,
of
because
NAFTA,
that
and
was
we
Bill
got
Clinton, and NAFTA was a
NAFTA.
disaster.
Screwed Mexico entirely.
Well, that's why Mexico is Mexico. It's a third world country because
Yeah.
somebody had the bright idea to come in there and take all of their money away
it's
from
a
them.
third world country with like 3 vacation destinations for the uber rich
Have
to
you
hang
seen
out.
the Mexican City
Cancun.
people? They're like,
Oh, yeah.
if you're white and you're thinking about moving here, don't.
Don't, please
Gentrification's the
don't.
name. This is the game. Do. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, we're gonna gentrify Texas, Louisiana, Arizona. Like, come on, man. Like, quit being a hypocrite. You're
Come
gonna
on,
say
man.
we want a better life. Oh, okay. I mean, these people want a better life because they're leaving high gas prices and high prices they can't afford in America. So the roles have now reversed. Oh, you
Oh,
don't
how the
like it too
turntables.
much. Oh, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
It's so funny. These uneducated people want to have an opinion, and it's like you can get all upset all you want. You're still stupid. Like it doesn't change the fact that what you're saying is dumb.
Yeah. Has there been any other updates on the Russia front?
I think the only update we've had is how many, like the votes that are coming in, the turnout for the election. I think I have it here.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll scroll down.
Everybody is projected to turn out from the Russian, from the Russian.
Just
news.
like 100% of the dead population of the U.S.
Exactly.
Okay, here it is.
All right. Coming to us live from one, I don't know if his name's banned on YouTube or not.
Maybe so.
From one Ficolis J. Nuentes.
Well, he forwarded it from this channel,
Okay.
but these are the turnout results so far. It ends the 27th, which is in 2 days.
Okay.
That's Tuesday. And I mean, it's pretty good. The Donetsk is over 50%, which is pretty good.
Nice.
And the other are relatively low, but there's still 2 days left. Plus, it doesn't really matter. I don't think they need a certain amount
Okay.
for the vote to be valid or whatever. It'll be valid. It just might not have 100% of the vote. Plus, lots of people left, of course, because there's a war going on.
Well, yeah. All right. If that's on the Russia front, do you have anything on the Iran situation?
I don't
Women.
know. I mean,
Pretty much.
it just started,
Yeah.
so there's not. I mean, we know what's happening. It's a woman named Masa Amini was arrested for not wearing a hijab properly or not wearing one at all. I can't remember. And then she died in police custody, and the revolutionaries are saying that she was killed by police. The police are saying she died in police custody, I think of a heart attack or something.
Okay.
How old
that's
was
what-
she?
Let me look. I think she was fairly young.
And they're saying a heart attack. Was she vaccinated? Well, I mean, it is
Was she
Middle East. I
boosted?
didn't know if it's like been
Yeah.
over there or not. I genuinely don't know if they
Yeah.
even know what COVID is over there.
Yeah.
It was
Well, we
20
can't question the legitimacy of. Well,
I'm not-
actually, no. YouTube allows us now because now we can pin it on Trump. That I forgot about that.
See, that's what I was when this was all happening. I was like, and Trump's like, "This is great. This is the greatest achievement in human history." I knew it.
Warp Speed. It's my biggest achievement.
At that moment, I was like, "He's never gonna get reelected. He
Yeah.
screwed himself out of an election." No,
We've already. Yeah.
There you go. She was 22 years old, and here's the claims. The eyewitnesses and her family are saying that she was beaten in the police van by the morality police, which are like the religious police.
Okay.
and the police say that she died of a heart attack. I think it's confirmed that she hit her head
Oh my
on the way in there.
God.
So,
So it's
or
like
either
the
she
Bob
hit her
Saget
head or
situation.
she was beaten.
Beaten and somebody took
So-
her head.
That was I guess that's the basis for the claim of the heart attack that they're claiming.
Yeah.
No one knows
Women
for sure.
don't get treated equally in America. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, America has a real problem right now where women, they only make the same amount as a man as long as they work the same job. They're only taking over almost every CEO position. They don't have to wear habibs. They're not beaten into a pulp.
It's hijabs.
Job?
Yeah, you said Habib.
Habib.
No,
That's what I've been told.
no,
Like
Habibi is like friend.
Habib.
No, hijab is the
The J
head
is not.
covering.
It's a hijab.
I didn't think you were supposed to pronounce the J. I thought the J was
Habib?
silent. Yeah, Habib.
Where's the second B coming from?
Habib. B. Not buh. Habib. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm white. I don't know. Anyway, not my point. My point is,
I just pronounce it how it's spelled.
if you're a woman in America and you complain about not being treated equally, shut up. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. You're treated just the same. You want a real problem? go over there and don't wear one of those things on your head, because I'm not gonna say that word again.
Yeah.
Don't and see what happens to you. It's so stupid. You are so shallow. That's a good word. You're locked up in this thought that you yeah. That's what I was trying not to acknowledge, Zach. You're locked up with this thought that, oh, these men have me trapped. No, you have yourself trapped. Shut up, get over it. And the difference between a man and a woman is, if a man's in a situation and he's like, this sucks, he pushes through it. If a woman's in that situation, she's gonna sit there and cry about it.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. My arms hurt. And if a guy's in that situation, he's gonna be like, I gotta push through it till I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And
I hate you. I hate you. Don't wink. Don't wink.
it's just I really do. There is no such thing as feminism in reality, because reality says that men and women are equal. God says that men and
As
women are
people.
equal. As people, yes. Now, within that, there are different things that your responsibility. God made men big and strong because we're supposed to be doing things like that, and God made women just a little bit more able to understand their emotions and be in touch because they're moms. Moms are supposed
They have to be able to.
They're supposed to know how to love and be there and raise a kid and show the kid that things are going to be okay. Even moms are just as important as dads. They do two totally different things, just like men and women.
We're supposed to be opposites but complement each other.
Exactly.
We're
And
supposed to fill in the roles where the other cannot.
if like me, I can cook. So therefore, I don't expect my wife to be able to cook because I enjoy cooking. It's not like I'm gonna go out there and look for all of these stereotypes about women. It's what's something that I suck at. Oh, okay, I suck at being calm. I freak out a lot. Maybe I need to find somebody who's a little calm, doesn't talk as much. Not because I'm literally looking for the opposite, but because it's what's best for me. That's it's so stupid that people think you're misogynist because you want a woman I don't want my wife to work because I want her to know that I'm going to take care of her and provide for her, not because I don't want her to be seen by other men, not because I don't want her to have a job or have a career later on in life. Sure, if you're 50 and we've had our kids and they've gone through college, great, yeah, whatever. But I mean, I want our kids to be raised. I don't want my kid to be put in front of a TV.
Or raised by some, the neighbor or whatever.
I don't want to have to go drop my kid off at daycare because, one, I mean, if they're going to shoot up a school, what's going to stop some deranged lunatic from shooting up a daycare? And two, I mean, I don't know those people. I don't trust those people. I don't want that child. I don't want my child around other children who may not act the same way or have the same view on life. Like, you got those rambunctious kids that want to bike. I don't want to hear about my kid getting his fingers bit off because some jerk in his class was just being stupid. And they're like, oh, kids, Yeah.
Or even, to go along with that, this is like there's this negative connotation to helicopter parenting, but there is some merit to being heavily involved in your child's life. This is why homeschooling is becoming a big deal. You're sending your kid off to some random institution funded by the government, employed by people you don't know. They're interacting with kids that you don't get to personally vet. You're going to have your kid interacting with kids who don't have the best parents. That's how I learned what swearing was because I went to a public school. That's how I learned what prawn was, pornographic images. Because I went to a public school and there were kids there who knew what it was and thought it was funny and showed me videos, and I did not want to see those videos.
You're like, oh my God, is she okay? She's screaming.
It wasn't that. It was literally, it was a meme. It was a Bruno Mars song. Yeah, exactly. It was the Bruno Mars song. I think it was Uptown Funk, where it's like doot 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 doot, and it was some dude's ween smacking a chick in the face. It was kind of funny, but it's like I don't want to see that. I'm like I'm in the freaking soccer locker room getting ready for practice, and some kid just walks up and goes, "Hey, bro, this is pretty funny." I'm like, okay. Oh, what the heck?
See,
This is what happens when you go to public school. You have to be involved in your kid's life, raise them properly, and make sure they're hanging out with good people.
See, I remember when I was in school, people would use particular images, and then they would take like Microsoft Paint and put them in like different situations and cover everything up. So it's like this girl, she's like, in one picture she's doing one thing, and then the next one she's talking into a microphone on a stage. And it's like, okay, there are certain things that you're exposed to. I'm grateful for some of my experiences, like the friends that I have.
Yeah.
There are a lot of situations I'm like, I swear if my kid has to go through something like that in high school, I'm going to be an upset parent.
Yeah.
But, there are some things sometimes your kid's going to have to learn something he wasn't supposed to know.
Yeah.
Just so that way later on in life they can be like, But again, I'm still against public school, not because of the school that I went to, but because the reasons that you listed off. I don't trust the government.
Yeah. I don't trust the people in charge there, especially nowadays where you got men who want to be women, women who want to be men, men who want to be with little women.
Can I identify as the president? And then
at
just
this
walk
point,
into the White House and be like, no, I'm the president.
Mine as well. Who would stop you?
Do y'all remember hearing about the person who ran into the White House when Trump was in office and he was on the lawn and he made it all the way to the front door?
I think I heard about
Didn't he have a
that.
gun?
I can't remember.
Then the Secret Service
See, there was one where he made it and he made it inside, and then they were like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "I thought that I was gonna get shot." And then they were like, "What?" and he was like, "I just ran in." He was like, "Nobody shot me." And like apparently he was like a Trump supporter, but he had the idea that there was no protection there. They had it wide open, and he kind of proved it. And then very quickly that story dissipated because it was like, oh, we can't let everybody know the president's still protected.
Yeah, that's probably not good. I thought it was just a dude who wanted suicide by cop, and then when it didn't happen, was just like, oh, come on, guys, and started criticizing their security.
See, I want to just go to Washington, D.C. and just find homeless people and be like, yeah, I'll give you $20 if you run across this line and see how many of them make it and see how many of them don't. Look at
That's what we call population
like
control.
horse racing.
Dude, we can start taking bets on it and everything. It's like, okay, here's a hobo 1, 2, and 3. I got 20 on 3.
I got 20 on Lightning Joe.
Then Joe Biden comes out. He's like, oh, we're having a race.
To clarify, in Minecraft.
This is all GTA 6 leaks.
Oh my gosh.
If that's in GTA 6 and it's in Washington, D.C., they have hobo races, I'm going to be needing my compensation.
That would be hilarious, but I have a bad feeling about that game. That's all I'm
I
saying.
have a great feeling about it.
Dude, I'm worried it's gonna be freaking nerfed and neutered. Like, I'm so worried.
Oh, you're talking about that? You're actually talking about?
Yeah, no, yeah, the actual game. I think there were leaks last
Have you
week.
seen the leaks?
I haven't. No.
It is a female protagonist, which I think you said. It is Bonnie and Clyde story. And
Cringe.
well,
It could be good.
It
Because
could
the
be
other
good.
protagonist is some like old school, like mafia white Italian type guy.
Oh, nice.
and so it's like it's two women, the guy, and it's like they kind of it's Bonnie and Clyde in the sense that like it's a love story, and I guess that's
Okay.
why it's not the story of Bonnie and Clyde,
Okay.
but it's supposed to have a backstory between the two main characters, and there's supposed to be like some entanglement or something. But the story seems cool and all. But I
Mm.
mean, my concern is like, I don't know, the gameplay. Like,
Yeah.
To be fair, it wasn't finished either.
oh
Oh,
no, no,
yeah.
no, not the videos, but I mean, like, are the missions gonna be fun? Like,
Mm.
are you going to throw us into an open world where these people can just kill you? If like currently, I can't do jack crap with my company because anytime I try and do anything, these people blow me up.
Oh yeah, the freaking people on
And I'm like,
the
dude,
oppressors.
leave me alone. Like, I'm just trying to do this. Has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with anything. I just want some money so I can buy a cool car. And these people are like, no, screw you, screw your life. I'm gonna kill you.
The fun thing about GTA 5 is the chaos and a lot of the politically incorrect things they include in it adds to this heightened level of reality. And what I'm worried about is they're like, I think they said they were going to cut out some jokes and they were going to make it less offensive. And it's like, that's the fun part. The whole joke of like the random NPCs walking around the street say the most obscenely offensive things, and it's hilarious. And then you can run them over with a car if you want. Like,
Have you seen the video of the guy? He's like, these are the things that the NPCs say. And he's walking around,
yes.
get off my grass.
Yes, I love those videos. I save almost every single one of those. They're so funny. Yeah, jeez. Yeah. So the state of media has me worried. So I'm always incredibly skeptical about certain things. Did you hear about the Woman King? The
Woman King?
The Woman King, the movie. It came out last week, and I really didn't care about it. I didn't feel like talking about it, but it has blown up with controversy now because special Black Twitter hates it. I've seen a couple of reviews of people who liked it, and they're white people, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm sure a bunch of white people are gonna hate this movie for being historically inaccurate." And I'm like, everyone I've heard who hated it were black people. Black Twitter hates it because it's supposed to be a freedom fighting movie, but it's about this African tribe that in real life were, I think, contributed to 20% of the slave trade, to the overall slave trade. And they were one of the last African tribes to stop doing the slave trade. Not because they wanted to, but because the French had to come in and have two separate wars with them, saying, you guys got to stop kidnapping people and putting them into slavery. The rest of the world's gone on. The king that is in the movie is quoted as saying he would rather die than to give up his slaves. But in the movie, they're fighting for freedom for their people, and it's a story of empowerment. It's like, you use the absolute worst group of people. They loved slavery. They would fight tooth and nail to keep slavery just because they like having slaves. And on top of that, yeah, the woman army thing that's depicted in the movie was a thing. They would kidnap women from the opposing villages or villages they would raid, and they would either, the attractive ones would go into obscene professions, while the more burly masculine ones would go into an army. So they built an army of women. and they were notoriously incompetent and could not win any fights. Lesser tribes, yeah, they would win those easily because it was like small numbers and they could easily overwhelm them. Anytime they fought anyone who had any level of competency, like the French, they would lose handily. And it wasn't because they just had spears. They had guns. They had rifles. They had all the modern technology. They just didn't know how to use it properly. And then the French of all people came in and wrecked them twice. Oh.
Have you heard the lady that was on Don Lemon? She was talking about reparations, and he was like, so I hear that, you're for, giving reparations to people about slavery. And she's like, yeah, those kings that were giving away people, the families need to be repaid for the people that they gave away. And then we could start going on from there about how people were affected. And he was just befuddled. And it's
he was so befuddled.
How do you, as a person of color, not understand that your own people were the ones that were selling, not the white people? It's just, it shows you the lack of education. Oh, again, which is why I'm not going to put my kid into a public school
Yeah.
system, because they will come out retarded.
To be fair, Don Lemon was too busy cupping his balls and putting his fingers under random dudes' noses to actually learn
He is
about
a
history.
freaking weirdo, bro.
Hey, at least his show got canceled,
I'm
and he
really
got
sad.
moved to the morning show, and he's forced to now co-host something instead of do it by himself.
I love that these moguls and icons from 2019, 2020 that were big names, the fat potato head guy,
Stetler,
and now you got the I almost said something really bad.
Don Lemon.
We'll call him. Well,
Yeah.
he's lucky.
Yeah, the new star of the Rings of Power, Don Lemon.
What's the Rings of Power? Oh yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Is
That's
he
the
in that?
no. The
Oh.
joke is that the black elf guy he's mixed. I think he's like half Cuban or something, but he looks like Don Lemon, so people just call him Don Lemon Elf.
I'm very curious to see what their next step is, because the media is integral in controlling this country. So if you're pulling back two of your main puppets, as far as I am concerned,
Yeah.
what's next?
Mhm.
How do they?
I will say this: I appreciate what Zaslav is doing with CNN, because it seems like he's genuinely trying to turn it around to being legitimate news. So I appreciate him. I'm not a fan of what he's doing with HBO Max and specifically Cartoon Network, but that's a whole separate issue. But what he's doing with CNN, I kind of like. But yeah, so we got. Hold on, I have my timer up. We got about 15 minutes until we probably should start wrapping up. So we're going to move into Woman Moments. We only got 2 videos this week. It's a little more serious. So it's not just, these videos aren't going to be, oh, woman fell down, haha, let's laugh at woman. These are like these are legitimate just issues, I think, to expose you to. So let's do video Woman Moment 1. Oh shoot, that's not right. I didn't update them. No,
You didn't put the videos in.
I didn't. Can you
Wow.
put those in real quick?
I don't know how to do
Oh my gosh. Hold on. So you gotta double click.
that. Here, I'll give Davey the camera.
Talk about something.
Davey's Corner.
I'm
Let's
retarded.
see, what can we talk about today?
You're supposed to talk.
Oh, let's see. Oh, well, Arkansas blew it last night. That was tons of fun to watch. I think we'll beat Alabama next week. I don't think we're going to play that bad again. Then back-to-back weeks, because we almost lost to Missouri State. That was tough. Oh, Bryson Gray. Bryson Gray has a new song called Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, nice.
And, man, one of his songs, let me see if I can tell y'all the name of it. Let's see. Bars for Christ is a good one. Soul of the Nation's a good one. Jesus is a good one.
You might have to move it around though.
Liberalism is a mental disorder. That's why they let illegal immigrants across the border.
We should have it. You might need to adjust the position of the video, but we'll see.
Red bucket hat. I've never seen myself blink before. That was pretty cool.
You're doing great at stalling, Davey. You're not saying anything substantial and just rambling. Do you have it ready?
Here.
Here we go. Yeah, you might have to move it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I mean the video's a little obscured because it's not a proper position.
Yep.
You might
You have to
yeah.
adjust it.
Yeah.
But
We're a professional show, guys. I swear.
I can't click on the freaking video.
And you saw what I did with that. You can do it for the second one, right? Okay.
Bossy.
No, I probably didn't. You probably did.
All right.
There you go.
So this is a police car that just got hit by a train, and this is the lady who's driving the car.
No way. She didn't get him out?
So this lady, a female officer had a man detained in the back of her in the back of her cruiser, and she parked her cruiser on the train tracks, and it got absolutely shreked by the train.
Yeah, sitting on the. Oh,
Yep.
there it is.
Like you can't. It's just bam.
Bam.
Car.
Car
There's a suspect in that car.
in that car.
There's a live suspect in that car.
In
They're
that car.
handcuffed in the back seat.
And she didn't get him out. I'm curious, did her car break down or did she just effing park the cruiser on the tracks and not think about it?
Well, I guess it depends. What was this guy's charge? Did he like murder somebody? Because karma.
Who knows? I don't know. But
Traffic stop.
that's so stupid. This is why women shouldn't drive or be police. I mean,
if you get pulled over by a woman cop.
you ain't gonna take them serious. There's the what was
Hey, baby.
there is a video. There's a video of a female cop pulling a guy over, and it was just like, oh, license and registration. The dude just gets belligerent. And he's like, no, why should I give you that? She's like, license and registration, sure. And he's like, no, I don't feel like it. So she tells him to get out of the car. He gets out of the car, and she goes to like, try to arrest him or something. And he just like pushes her to the ground. And then he's like, I'm not gonna do it. She's like, no, you have to do it. And he just like kind of kicks her a little bit, and then two other dudes have to run over and help the lady cop out, and this other lady walks over and goes, you don't do that to a woman. It's like, look, I'm all for equal opportunity. Don't make women cops. Don't put women in the army. They're not physically capable of it. Unless it's like this freaking Slovakian She-Hulk in real life chick that I saw a news story on earlier.
Like there's
They don't need to be cops.
the Best Buy employee. Somebody was trying to steal something from Best Buy, and this lady blocked the door.
And he's
You know what
saw it,
happened
yeah.
to her?
what?
Dana White gave her a job as security guard at the UFC. And she's locked up, bro. No, people have been getting physical, and then they see her, done. She didn't have to do anything, bro.
Nice.
They're
Okay.
terrified of her.
Okay.
She posts pictures of her. No, she was a little overweight,
Mm.
but now that she's part of the UFC, all these fighters are, giving her. She's getting bulky, dude.
Oh well, good
And
for
it's
good for
like-
her.
It's cool to see stories like that.
Yeah.
That are positive.
Yeah, and that's 1% though.
That is
That's like a small
1%.
minority. We cannot be putting just your
No.
normal. I mean, I delivered some food to our local police station, this past week. No hate to them; they were very nice people. But the woman who was there, she ain't gonna be stopping nothing. The dudes who were there, kind of overweight and a little roundish. We need some high standards for our police officers if they're going to be going out in the field every day, and if they're going to have to chase down someone, I want them to be able to chase down someone. They cannot just be like running, take 5 steps, and like keel over and out of breath.
See, they hire cops to do traffic stops. They don't hire cops to protect the people of this county
Yeah.
or this city or this state.
And I wish traffic stops were all they had to deal with.
I do too, but the reality is that if you don't have a guy that's like 6'3", 6'4", knows how to shoot a rifle and is good with hand-to-hand combat and isn't afraid and is mentally stable, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Because then when it's time to go in and bust the guy that just shot 2 kids and has X amount of this and X amount of that, all that, when it's time to go, you really want some 450-pound donut machine and then a 10-pound woman with him? What do you think that guy's going to do? He's just going to laugh. Like, I'm not going
Yeah.
anywhere. You guys can leave or I'll kill you.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you have more people who are in shape as your police officers, that's less times the firearm has to be discharged because they don't have to resort to it as much. But yeah, that was kind of terrifying. And just goes to show something. Women shouldn't be cops. That's what. Do you have video 2?
Yes.
Woman moment 2 ready? Okay, cool.
I'm just gonna rip the band-aid off because I've retaken this like 10 times now. Essentially, I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, I was young, I was naive, and I mean, quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now, so I was definitely very easily manipulated. Maroon 5 is practically elevator music at this point, so I'm sure
she
you
had
know
an affair
who
with Adam Levine.
is.
Lead
But
singer of Maroon
Adam and I were
5.
seeing each other for about a year. After I stopped talking to him over, a period of months, this is how he came back into my life. He said, okay, serious question. I'm having another baby, and if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious.
Why would you name your boy Summer?
Sumner. Not Summer, Sumner.
I'm in hell. Like, I have to be in hell at this point. I mean, my morals were unknowingly compromised. I was completely manipulated. I wanted to handle this privately. I never wanted to come forward because obviously I know the implications that come with doing what I do, making money the way I do, and being an Instagram model. So being tied to a story like this, it's like, I know the stereotypes.
I didn't know if that was monetized.
I had sent.
I don't care. We're not monetizing it at all. Who cares?
I thought I trusted, and one of them had attempted to sell to a tabloid.
Slut. Sorry.
So, for context, she said she was young and naive. She said this was like a year prior. Yeah, she said over the period of months, and Adam Levine finally got back, like reached out to her again. That was June. So period of months. So this was 2021, and she was young and naive, and she felt exploited, and I feel like a victim.
How does she think the wife feels that was supposed to be married to this man? Now, if there's anybody to blame, yes, you blame both of them. Mm-hmm. I mean,
this is also an OnlyFans model, by the way.
Well, then, I mean, she knowingly understood. I mean, if you're having an
my morals were unknowingly compromised when I decided I really wanted to. Yeah. Oh, also, I would like to add some other things. During the period in time in which she was with Adam Levine, she was thirst trapping on TikTok, where she would wear Victoria's Secret outfits and be like, "Oh my gosh, he likes brunettes more than blondes," or when he chooses you over a model. Like she was literally taking shots at this poor man's wife, and then going, "Oh man, I feel exploited. I feel taken advantage of." And like all she's doing is just sympathy clout. That's all she was doing there.
Yeah, she just fell off and wanted more people to pay attention to her, and I don't know how it keeps doing that.
You keep hitting the mic and it keeps just.
I don't know when I hit it. I don't know. Maybe I'm this.
Yeah. Yeah. You just got to keep it pointed at your mouth. It should just stay still. That's what she was doing, but.
Well, it's probably more like.
Yeah. She got the freaking lip injection. This chick's around our age. And it just, like, it boggles my mind. This is why freaking TikTok and social media is a freaking toxic place, is because you got chicks like this who's like, you're young, you're relatively attractive, you can find a dude around your age who will work to... Well, yeah. I mean, before the freaking lip injections that just, like, sunken in your lips, you were probably an attractive young woman. You seem in shape. You seem fit. You could have found a dude who would love you, cherish you, and provide for you, but instead you did the clout chasing thing. You freaking pose half nude on your TikTok and full nude on your OnlyFans.
This is gonna shake some people to the core. But let me tell you something, women. Let me be honest with you. Are you tired of finding men that only want to have sex with you? Maybe, just maybe, you should have a tiny little bit of morals and I don't know. Wait till you're married and find somebody who loves you for you and wants to take care of you and provide for you and not exploit yourself and use the very thing that most guys chase after and the only thing that some guys want out of a relationship. Be a little bit smarter. Quit saying, "Oh, they took advantage of me." No, you made a mistake. Mm-hmm. Own up to it. Nobody wants to date a slut. Nobody wants to date a girl or marry a girl. Okay, let me rephrase it. Nobody wants to marry a slut. Nobody wants to marry a girl who's had an OnlyFans. Nobody wants to marry a girl that's been on Pornhub. No, none of that. Yeah. And so, quit saying that guys have too high of standards and quit being a slut. That's all. That's my public service announcement for the week.
What did you think he was gonna do? Like run off and marry you and choose you, a young 20-year-old?
And the same thing's going to happen to her whenever she gets.
Yeah, what you thought he was going to run off with you because it was Adam Levine? Like the dude has a wife and kids. If he's half decent, even if he is having an affair, he's going to at the very least stay with them. But also, dude, Adam, you're married to a Victoria's Secret model, and you find you see the need to go out of your way to find some young early 20s OnlyFans slut. to go and have an affair with? My guy, you made it big with a Victoria's Secret model. You don't need that. What is wrong with you? And then freaking DMing her and saying you're gonna name your kid after her?
That is, I don't know. That is next level crazy person stuff.
Yeah.
Right there. I don't care who that is. You're gonna name your child after the person you had an affair with.
Some next level shade.
Now, what would you do if you found out that your wife was having an affair and the child that is, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old is named after that person?
That would be rough.
Like,
That would be rough,
that's
bro.
gonna shake her. I feel so bad for this woman. Like,
Dude.
I don't know what the big difference is between being a Victoria's Secret model and being an OnlyFans model. I mean, it can't be too much of a difference, but
It's more tasteful, I guess.
yeah. But I mean, it's still it's the same concept. You're going after the same thing. You're going after.
Yeah.
It's the.
Well, you could also advertise to women too. It's like, look at this.
Really think Victoria's Secret models are advertising to lesbian women? Yes.
Okay, fair. But Victoria's Secret is a women's clothing line, so
Most men aren't wearing Victoria's Secret.
yeah, exactly. So
Most women
I
aren't
think
watching the channels.
they've struck the perfect marketing balance of like, dudes see it and it's like, dang, she's hot. What if my girlfriend could look like that? I'm gonna buy her some clothing and maybe she'll look like a Victoria's Secret model. But then it's also like you got women see it and go, dang, I wish I could look like that. I want to look like that for my boyfriend or my husband. I need to buy this clothing so I can look that good. It's kind of like a balancing thing. Now there's some essay and rope accusations within the company.
What is that? Oh.
Unconsensual diddling and or insertion
What is SA?
It's assault of a certain kind.
of a certain kind.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm trying to be very vague with that. So there's some accusations there with the company. I mean, obviously it's a company built on lust. That's going to happen. I mean, same thing happened with Playboy. But I think they also have some ties to Epstein, so that's no bueno. But just in and of itself, on the surface level, my guy, you married a Victoria's Secret model and you're gonna cheat on her.
Bro. Hey,
She needs to
shout out to Adam Levine's wife. If you want a real husband, it's not going to cheat on you. This guy.
And with that, we're gonna end this week's episode. We've hit our time. We have hit our time.
501.
No.
I'm not gonna really say my number.
Don't dox yourself. Jeez. With that, we're gonna end this week's episode with Davey simping after a married woman with a kid, possibly
Fine
two.
by me.
We thank you for watching. I need to remember to say this at the beginning of the episodes, but don't forget to like and
You
subscribe.
say that at the end of every episode.
Every episode. People don't watch to this point in time. Jeez. Yeah, it needs to open out with please like and subscribe. That's how you get more people to like and subscribe. But I'm saying it now. I don't care. Like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you think about what we talked about. What are your thoughts on the Russian conflict so far? What are your thoughts on the kid who got ran over in North Dakota? And yeah, I got nothing more to say. I've been your host, Garrett. Garrett. Shut up. This has been my co-host, Davey, and my producer, Zach, and we're all saying goodbye. This has been Alt.tistic, the most retarded political social show.
Tuckfexus.
What?
Tuckfexus.
Quit injecting your sports into our political show. This is not a time and place for sports. That's inappropriate.
I can't have sports.
As you can tell, this is the most retarded political social show on the internet. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next week. Stay retarded. We love you. Good night.